whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let's rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the MSD Pike Township School Board meeting, November 13th. We'll start off with for the good of the cause. If any patrons would like to use this platform to say anything for the good of the cause, you'll start off with your name, and you have 3 minutes. All right. We'll move on to Spotlight on Pike. Sarah Dorsey.
Good evening. It's wonderful to see you all again. There have been so many wonderful things happening here in the district since we last met. It's really hard to decide what to bring forward, but I did want to take a minute to thank everyone who attended Pike High School's Safe Trick or Treat event and then also their open house. And I also want to congratulate Mr. Wally and his team. They did an amazing job, and our students, many of whom I recognize that are here tonight, we could not have had better representatives, better testaments to how amazing our families, our community, our educators, and our schools are here in Pike. They were just the personification of Pike excellence and Pike proud. At the Safe Trick or Treat, I'm not sure who had more fun, our big kids or the little kids, but they did such a great job. And then again last night, whether they were giving tours or working at the tables, they spoke so well about their experiences, about their programs, and just did a great job interacting with our guests of all ages. So I want to thank them because that is a lot of work, and it is just a great opportunity for the community to come in and see how great Pike High School is. So congratulations and thank you. Congratulations, parents. You've done a great job. At 7 p.m. tomorrow and Saturday, Pike High School will proudly present their fall musical, Guys and Dolls, in our Pike Performing Arts Center, and those tickets are on sale now online. We want to celebrate the fact that Isaiah Hill was voted the Marion County Preseason Player of the Year. That's a big deal. In addition to that, Jahari Miller, Landon Lampley, and Kenneth Lampley, were also recognized. Earlier today, representatives from Telemundo visited Pike High School to present Mrs. Miranda, our ELL department chair and the 2025 Teacher of the Year, the Indiana Teacher of the Year, with a Hispanic Heritage Award in honor of her impact on the community. And she is so deserving. She is such a great advocate for her students, our community, and Pike Schools. So we greatly appreciate her and the work she's done this last year. We also want to publicly congratulate Kendra Champion McLoon, who was named the AAA District 3 Athletic Director of the Year. That's a well-deserved recognition. We appreciate her and all her hard work. Our Red Zone Food Pantry is holding its next food distribution on Monday, November 17th, and that'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Pike Freshman Center. We also want to encourage 8th graders and their parents or guardians to join us at Lincoln Middle School on Thursday, November 20th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for the second session in our College and Career Readiness Series. This evening, Pike Freshman Center hosted a free immunization clinic, and I'm told that we had over 100 people come and take advantage of that. So we're very pleased that they were able to make that opportunity available. And then last but never least, we want to thank the donors listed on this evening's agenda. The Pike Township Educational Foundation donated $400 to fund flexible seating options for Casey Towers' classroom at the Nathaniel Jones Early Learning Center. Lincoln Middle School received $1,000 for a 3D printer and $415 to purchase chairs for flexible seating options. They donated $300 to Snacks Crossing Elementary School for art supplies for their creativity and cardboard grant. With cardboard grant, Guyan Creek Elementary School, College Park Elementary School, and Eastbrook Elementary School each received $1,000 to support health and wellness initiatives. Pike High School received $3,000 for the robotics team and $700 to purchase literacy and math games for our English language learners. And the foundation collected $1,485 in donations via their website, to support our Pike Red Zone food pantry. So we're extremely grateful to the foundation and all the opportunities they provide for our students. If you have a senior or know a Pike senior, their scholarship applications are open, so visit their website and take a look at that. In addition, we want to thank Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories, Inc., who donated $100 to help inspire a lifelong love of learning in math and science. Ortho Indy Foundation YMCA donated Christmas presents for 15 Pike families. That's an estimated value of $4,000. Lipstick Entertainment LLC donated Christmas presents for 40 families at Snacks Crossing Elementary School. That's an estimated value of $4,000. The Indiana Natural Resources Foundation provided a field trip to the state park that included a naturalist-led component. And Indy Hygiene Hub donated shampoo, diapers, wipes, and soap to Snacks Crossing Elementary School at an estimated value of $200. And we're extremely grateful for all that amazing support and generosity.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, we'll move on to reports to the board. Fall sports and performing arts recognition. Immediately after the recognition, we will pause for about 3 minutes to allow the families to, a lot of times the families will leave right after that, and then we'll continue our meeting. Dr. Hunter.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young, we are excited tonight to gather to recognize and to celebrate the exceptional achievements of our fall sports and performing arts students. It's my pleasure to introduce Pike High School athletic directors and Pike High School arts band co-director, who will in turn introduce the remarkable athletes and performing arts students to illustrate and to expose their great talent. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kendra Champion-McAloon and Mr. David Paddock, co-athletic directors from Pike High School, who will introduce the phenomenal fall sports athletes that have represented their school with pride.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young. I'd like to first just say, Mr. Paddock and I both would like to say thank you for this opportunity to recognize these amazing student athletes. You guys put a lot of work in and day out. You're going from probably 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. or maybe definitely later, I know. So we are super proud of you, and I was going to say this and Ms. Dorsey beat me to it. We're going to talk about some incredible academic or athletic accomplishments here, but these kids that are sitting in this room are also the kids that you will see at events like our Safe Trick or Treat, the open house last night. They're doing it all, and they're representing our school in an incredible way, and we both feel blessed and honored to be able to serve these student athletes, and we're grateful to you as their parents and guardians for what you have done and who you have created, and that you are sharing your children with us, because they are just a beam of light for this school district. So thank you for that. We're going to introduce our coaches here separately so that they can share the accolades of these kiddos, and I do want to give a shout out to our coaches because they also put in many, many hours. It's way more than just X's and O's, especially at this level. So I want to thank these guys. They've also been at it hard. Safe Trick or Treat, they had an awards night Monday and open house last night, so thank you. We are grateful for your service. We are going to start with our head golf coach, Mr. Tommy Roars.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. My name is Tommy Roars, and I'm the head golf coach at Pike High School. It is with great pride tonight that I recognize the following achievements by one of our Pike golfers. She has been awarded the following this season: Team MVP, the Team Mental Attitude Award, MIC All-Conference, and to top it all off, she has recently been announced as a member of the 2025 Academic All-State Team for Girls Golf as nominated by the ICGSA. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for Pike Senior Addie Danforth.
Thank you, Coach. Next up, our head girls volleyball coach, Rillian Dennis.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. Thank you guys for having me today. First, I would like to recognize Reagan Ward. She was, or is, a two-time All-MIC player, All-County this year, and last year she was All-County Honorable Mention. She is the leader in blocks, digs, and hitting percentage, and as a sophomore, she has 297 kills, which is a huge deal. Next, I have Summer Eaton. She is a senior this year. She has achieved academic All-State. She is also a mixed scholar and a Pike scholar. She is our assist leader for the season. She is All-County Honorable Mention as well. And for, if you know anything about volleyball, she is our setter, and she's only been setting 2 years. She started out as a middle, so it's very rare that you see a middle go to a become a setter, and she has 700 assists in 2 seasons, which is a huge deal. Most people don't do that, so she's amazing. Next, I have our other senior, Justice Irving King. She is also a two-time All-MIC. She was All-County last year, and this year she is All-County Honorable Mention. She is the leader in aces, digs, and receptions this season. And with 638 digs and 827 receptions and 126 aces. And that's a big deal because this is stats from only 2 seasons. Her freshman season, she barely played, and then she basically broke her back her sophomore year. So she didn't play at all. So these girls have accomplished amazing things over the last couple years, and I'm very excited that they are receiving this recognition tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Dennis. Next up, we have our head girls and boys cross-country coach, Mr. Lance Garvin.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. First, I'd like to say that for our academic All-State, in order to earn that, you have to have a minimum GPA of 3.5 and a test score of either 1200 on the SAT or a 26 on the ACT. First up, Athiana Aguirre. She was All-MIC and All-County. Liz Akinlamola, academic All-State. Florence Boslett, academic All-State and regional qualifier. Lainey Gornick, All-County and regional qualifier. Kamali King, All-MIC, All-County, academic All-State and regional qualifier. Greta Sitzman, academic All-State. Charlie Akambobola, academic All-State and regional qualifier. Christopher Boyd, All-MIC, All-County, All-Sectional, All-Regional, state qualifier, and one of our top 10 fastest ever at Pike. 15:48 for a 5K. Francis Houlihan, All-MIC,
all county, all sectional, all regional, state qualifier, and also one of our top 10 fastest ever at 15:44. Christian Oliver, academic All-State. Colton Powell, academic All-State. And Isaac Rosario, academic All-State.
While they're taking a picture, I would like to say that we have to replace record boards, obviously, because we have 2 times going down. And when I called to replace, they told me they no longer made that type of board. That's how long it's been. So that is awesome. We are ordering a brand new one so that we can put Chris and Frankie up there. Pretty cool. All right, thank you. Next up, we have our head girls soccer coach, Sarwanda Samba.
Good evening, Mr. President, member of the board, and Dr. Young. My name is Sarwanda Samba. I'm the head girls coach for Pike, first year. We had a good season. We had a 10 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw season. I want to appreciate the parents and the staff for all the hard work that they support us in this process. And these players we're going to recognize tonight, they've done a wonderful job this season. We worked hard, and I would just like to start with the award. Our first award recipient is Myra Valdez. She's an academic, all-conference, and Pike Scholar. Our next award recipient is Anaya Bishop, Pike All Scholar, MIC All Conference. Next would be Anaya Delamore. She's a Pike Scholar, All Conference in County. Next would be Jordan Kilbright. She's a Pike Scholar and MIC Conference Academic. We have Ashley Lemus. She's a MIC All Conference and All County recipient. And then we have Katie Lopez, All Conference. And Georgia Sucheski, second team All District, Pike Scholar, in All Conference. And last, we have Jasmine Acevedo. She's a All Conference academic recipient. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, head boys soccer coach, Mr. Theron Smith.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. Today, we're here to talk about a few of our soccer players this year that had a chance to receive awards. This year, we have a lot of individual awards and not any team awards. So next year, hopefully, we can present you with a team award also. I would like to start out with Bam out of Wool. Bam this season made Pike Scholar Athlete He was also a mixed scholar athlete and an all-state academic. Matthew Bitzel. Matthew Bitzel this season was a MIC all-conference player and an all-county player this season. Diesel Alassane. Diesel this season was a part of our MIC Scholar Athletes. He was also a Pike Scholar Athlete, and he was all-state academic. Joel Contreras. Joe was part of our academic all-state team. He was part of the MIC Scholar Athlete, and he was a Pike Scholar Athlete. Ryder Daisy. Ryder was a part of our conference all-MIC team this season, and he was actually our team MVP. Jose Molina. Jose this season was part of our MIC Scholar Athlete. He was also a Pike Scholar Athlete and academic all-state, and part of the MIC conference team. Caden Richardson. Caden was part of our MIC all-conference team. Congratulations, Caden. Daniel Tellis Flores. Daniel was part of our Pike Scholar Athlete. He was also a MIC Scholar Athlete and part of the academic all-state team. And Adriel Tutu. Adriel was also part of our Pike Scholar Athletes. He was a mixed scholar athlete and an academic all-state. Congratulations for all your achievements this season.
Thank you. Next up, our head boys tennis coach, Josh Villafuerte.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. Tonight for boys tennis, we are recognizing two players who have been awarded MIC All-Conference honors. Please come to the stage, Chris Castellon-Perez and Evan Ween. This season, these two gentlemen led our team as our number 1 and 2 singles. Individually, they had great seasons, but for their team contributions through their leadership this season and last season, we finished as MIC runners-up. Overall, we've had a 14-2 record in our conference these last 2 seasons, which is something that we're very proud of. And the success that we have seen these last couple years would not be possible without the leadership and the example that these guys have set as tennis players, student athletes, and people. They're also multi-sport athletes, so you will see them across different mats, fields, and courts around Pike, involved in their school and community, and very deserving of these all-conference honors.
All right, thank you. And last but certainly not least, we have our head football coach, Mr. Michael Brevard.
Oh, man. I
should wait since we've been here so long. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. Tonight we are recognizing 6 members of the football team that made all conference. First up, gonna miss him, man, one of my young bucks. I remember when he wanted to be a defensive back, and I had to tell him he's a linebacker. Dami Adioba. So Dami is headed to Grand Valley State. According to his senior night, plans to be an educator, maybe a future football coach. It's a good profession. No, I'm not. Second, we have Brendan Golden Leg Beckwith. So he was our punter this year, averaged 40 yards, put it inside the 27 times. Our third recipient, and another young man I had to talk about defense, wanted to be a running back, way better linebacker. That is Willie Chapman. Fourth nominee who had a tall task this season, guarding every team's best receiver, that is Jalen Griffin. Don't worry, Jalen, I'll brag on you a little bit. So Jalen, when we played LN, which has the top receiver in the country, held him to 1 catch this year.
Wow. Wow.
Shout out to his barber, too. Another young man I'm going to miss, he also, one of my babies, came in my first year, which is Muna Newman. Muna is committed to Western Michigan University, where he plans to be an engineer.
All right.
Dr. Young, we got to talk about getting him another year at Pike. And then last but not least, we have Bobby Thomas. So Bobby is a current junior. We're excited about him and Jalen coming back next year. He was just shy of 1,000 yards this year. Recruiting is heating up for him. So again, look for Bobby Thomas on that field.
Right.
Put Bobby down. There you go.
Thank you. Congratulations once again. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young. Next we have Ms. Amy Moe, co-band director of Pike High School, who will now introduce the exceptional performing arts students from Pike High School.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. I'm Amy Moe. I'm one of the co-band directors. We would like to congratulate and honor all of our marching band members on a fantastic 2025 season. I'm going to ask that they join me up here if they're out there. Come on up. We have some of our student leaders and seniors here. Come on up here, guys. Don't be shy. The seniors, student leaders, and soloists here tonight have stood out as positive examples of commitment, determination, passion, and artistry. They served as mentors for their peers and built a supportive community within the band, leading the group to an ISMA Gold rating and many other fabulous performances at football games and band invitationals this fall. Their positivity, kindness, and hard work will ring true in the band for years to come. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for all of our award recipients. This will be the 3-minute pause that will allow the parents who wish to leave at this point. You will be able to do so now.
Right.
This is the one that fights you. Cousin's house is right on the wall. Took it all up.
All right, next from the reports to the board, our first reading of the Board of Education policies, Dr. Bishop.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. This evening, I share with you the first half of policies for your review. The committee met in October to review a total of 16, so this evening I bring 8 to you for review. Should you have any questions between now and the next board meeting, please do not hesitate to contact me and I will provide you with additional information. We will seek approval at the December 11th board meeting.
Also, academic calendar process review, Dr. Bishop.
So this evening, I am going to share with you information regarding the calendar committee process. 3 years ago, Dr. Young tasked me with revising the way in which we sought out feedback from our community. We seek out, it was important for him to have all stakeholders participate and have an opportunity to participate in the calendar process. We have followed that same process again this time. I feel like the first 3 years went by very quickly, and here we are talking about and discussing 26-27 school year, 27-28 school year, and 28-29 school year. There were approximately over 30 stakeholders that included parents, teachers, administrators, a grandmother who wanted to participate in this process. These individuals were split into teams so that each team had a representative from the elementary school, the middle school, the high school, as well as an administrator, so that there could be conversation about the different lenses that each one of these levels brings as it relates to the calendar. The committee timeline existed when we started this process. I worked with Ms. Dorsey to communicate the information with our community, but prior to that, we continue to work collaboratively with our Teachers Association, working with them to make sure that they have representation and know what our timeline is. And then we sought committee participation from our community. That communication was sent by a parent square. Families had the opportunity to sign up to participate in the committee. They submitted their information in order to receive additional comments from us on the locations, times of the meetings for the process. We had our first committee meeting on September 10th. During that time frame, we set goals for the committee. We reviewed the parameters for a school calendar. We also discussed what the survey information was, because the survey window for Pike, all community stakeholders, teachers, students, parents, they had between August 25th and September 5th to provide information based on the survey that they received. During our first meeting, we reviewed those details, and we also provided the committee with calendars from surrounding districts so that they could get a sense of what the calendar looks like in our neighboring districts, along with outside our in suburban districts. So, for example, they were able to review the calendar from Brownsburg, from Lawrence, from Wayne. We included Hamilton Southeastern, Zionsville, they neighbor us, Brownsburg. So they had a wide range of calendars to review before we move forward with the actual setting of dates and things. The second committee meeting was set for September 24th. During that time frame, the teams worked to create their drafts. They had time to discuss what they wanted those calendars to look like based on the parent feedback, student feedback, stakeholder feedback. They also, during that time frame, created advantages and disadvantages to the calendar that they created. During that meeting, we then took those calendars, and each committee member was allowed 3 separate votes on the different calendars that were created by the different teams. We then voted on which of those calendars we would submit to the public for additional information. After the votes, there were initially 8 calendars, and we took that down to 3 based on committee votes that evening. Those 3 calendars were then shared with our stakeholders, families, teachers, students, and that particular window for the feedback was September 29th through October 17th. It is a bit longer than the first window because we also had fall break during that time, and we wanted to make sure that everyone had an opportunity to provide input outside of the fall break window. We came back for our final meeting on October 22nd, where we reviewed the feedback in order to make a determination of which out of the 3 calendars we would present to you all for approval in the coming months. Here I am presenting you with the calendar information. And the one area that I want to discuss further with you is a reminder of what the calendar criteria is, and all committee members had this information. You know, how does the calendar impact the student learning? Making sure that we meet the hourly, minute, and day requirements. Understanding that the state allows 3 e-learning virtual days only. Working collaboratively, making sure we meet contract requirements with our teacher association, and also any potential budget concerns that may arise based on how a calendar was created. Here's another reminder of the information that each committee member received in their folder. They received the calendar feedback surveys. They received the 26-27 calendar comparisons between 8 other districts. And there you will see the 8 other districts that they were supplied information from. That includes Decatur, IPS, Franklin, Lawrence, Perry, Wayne, Brownsburg, Carmel Clay, Hamilton Southeastern, and Zionsville. We also provided them with information on the IHSAA dates, because the last several years, our fall break has fallen during the week of sectionals for some of our sports. So we wanted them the ability to see where that fall break would land based on their feedback and based on what the IHSAA has already planned through 2029. From that, they had blank calendars that they worked as a team to then begin sketching out what their proposal was for a calendar. Here is the breakdown of the feedback. The one area that I want to highlight is we had an increase in participation from our survey. There was a minimum of a 600-person increase between our survey 3 years ago with our survey this past month or two since this process. It is apparent that the use of Parent Square is reaching a lot of our families, and they responded. So we had a total of 1,967 families that responded to the first survey, which was between August 25th and September 5th. The breakdown of that particular survey is 72% of those respondents were our parents and guardians, 20% were staff, 6% were students, and community was 2% of the 1,967. When we narrowed it down to the three, and we resurveyed our community between September 29th and October 17th, we had 1,107 respondents, and that too is an increase from the last process. So we were glad to see just the overall increase in participation. 63% of those respondents were our parents and guardians, 30% of those respondents were staff, 6.5% of those respondents were students, and about 0.5% were community. I will say that I love the grown-up participation, but I am glad to see that we were in that 6.5% for students. Our goal is always to continue to engage with them to get them to participate and provide their perspective. Here is the proposed calendar. The information that I have for you here, I want to highlight a request that we will have based on this particular calendar, which is titled a 1003 flexibility waiver. But I do want to highlight certain aspects of this particular calendar that will be for the next 3 years. Overwhelmingly, our feedback from our community was adamant that they wanted a later start. And this committee, this group, was able to come up with, actually all three calendars that were up for a vote had a later start. So in all 3 years, it will be a later start for our students and our staff. It was also a good number of our families really appreciate having a week of Thanksgiving. This particular calendar continues with a week of Thanksgiving. So there is a week for fall break, there is a week for Thanksgiving break, and then there are the traditional 2 weeks for winter break. There is a week for spring break, and we do finish before, at the end of the school year, we finish before Memorial Day. Okay? I will also add that what I didn't mention earlier is that the committee members also had the graduation dates for our classes for the next 5 years, so as to be able to judge where the school year could end based on our contractual obligations with the Indiana Fairgrounds. Okay? So where this comes to pass is that this particular calendar is requesting 2 waiver days. And what that means is they would like to use a waiver day in October to help our schools, specifically K-8, provide an additional conference day. It is difficult at times to be able to schedule all of our families who want to meet with our teachers during a 6-hour window. Adding the second day would allow K through 8 teachers a second day to meet with our families. The secondary folks, specifically the high school, don't necessarily see as much of that, and they would utilize that day for professional development. We would work with PCTA and the Teachers Association to make sure that all needs are met, whether it's an additional day for conferences or an additional day for professional development. The second waiver day would come in January. The first day of the return back would be for staff only. Students would not return until Tuesday. That Monday would be used for a district-wide professional development opportunity. This would allow teachers to get additional support, resources, time, preparation without students, and then they would be ready for students to arrive on Tuesday, the next day. So under House Bill 1003, school corporations can request a waiver if they want to be able to do things with instructional, such as instructional time. They can request to be waived from some regulatory requirements, which would be attending school 180 days. In this particular case, what we would like to do is request a 1003 flexibility waiver as it relates to instructional days. We would have 178 days out of 180, but I need to stress that we would not meet the state minute requirements. For example, in grades 1 through 5, students are required to have 54,000 minutes if you just look at the 180 days. Our students, just based on the times in which our students go to school, they annually receive 64,080 minutes. So just by the nature of our schedule, we go over and above the minutes. Same thing for our grade 6. They too are required 54,000 minutes. We fall into the 69,420 minutes that they receive. Grades 7 and 8, because it is now a 6-hour requirement, they are required to have 64,800 minutes. They already receive 69,420 minutes, which is an additional 4,600 minutes. Our high school students fall under the same parameters. They are required to have 64,800 minutes, but right now, based on their schedule, they receive 70,844 minutes of instruction. So I just want to stress that although if you allow for the flexibility waiver submission, that although we are asking for 2 instructional days, we are not falling short on instructional minutes. Okay? So our next steps would include today asking you to, part of the 1003 flexibility application requires the board to pass a resolution recognizing that we are asking for 178 minutes and looking at 178 days and looking at the total minutes, and that will come later in the action items. If that is approved on your part, I, along with Dr. Young's approval, would submit the application for the waiver. The IDOE is going to begin processing those applications December 1st. If they approved it, we would receive notification, and then we would come back to ask for approval of the calendars. So from a timeline standpoint, we would hope that we would have a decision before December 11th, but it could be based on the holidays and how quickly we receive information back from the IDOE, that we could be asking for approval as late as January. Okay. Once we receive your approval, we would release 3 years of calendar on the website via Parent Square so that everyone understands when the first day of school would be for the 26-27 school year. Are there any questions regarding this information? I know I just gave you a lot.
I actually have a question. First of all, I love the starting later and ending before Memorial Day. That is beautiful. I noticed we've only got one flex snow makeup day, and it's in the middle of February. We can still get a lot of snow after that. What was kind of the rationale?
So the rationale was the falling back on the fact that we could go directly into remote instruction. and not have to use a flex day into the calendar. Having a remote day, which means the students would be virtually live with their teachers for half of that time frame, which is approximately 3 to 3.5 hours, that would meet the minute time frame, and so the day would count.
Okay, so we're not concerned about if we pick up some snow days
No,
after
sir.
that? Okay.
There is no limit on remote days, only e-learning days when there's no contact with students and they're completely offline.
That helps. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Do we anticipate approval from the IDOE?
Dr. Webster, in my research of the Indiana School Board meetings, state board meetings, I have yet to come across a district that wasn't approved in the list. So I'm hopeful, I'm not going to say never,
Okay.
I'm hopeful that we would be approved. Our application looks very similar to the dozens and dozens of districts that have applied statewide.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Bishop,
Sir,
let me congratulate you on using the ideology of getting other calendars in the collaboration of creating the calendar for this township. How effective do you think that will be in the future?
I think it's very effective. The reality is we have several staff members, we have over 700 teachers who live in neighboring districts, whose students may go to other districts. And our fall break, our spring break may affect their plans. And so it was imperative for us to get a sense of which direction everyone as a whole is going. And I think the committee was very in tune with looking at where other districts were falling with. Is it still a week for fall break? Is it still a week for Thanksgiving break? When does their school year end? So I think it was very insightful for them to get a sense of where they fell in line with their calendar that they were helping put together.
Another issue that you brought up I thought was very interesting, and that was the idea of the participation of students. What does it look like going forward to increase that participation?
So I'm glad you asked that, Dr. Moore. So one of the things that we take collectively is taking the feedback of the committee and those involved and saying, how can we tweak this to make it better? For example, 3 years ago, I didn't ask them to sit in teams. So like we always do, we sit with folks that we know, and we sit with, and oftentimes they're the same grade level. We felt like moving towards a team of a diverse level that would allow them to engage, to get the perspective of this is what the schedule looks like at the elementary level, this is how the schedule affects me at the middle school, and this is how this affects me as a parent. We got great feedback from parents. And so we take that piece very seriously. I think from our standpoint, one of the changes that I would say moving forward 3 years from now is engaging with Mr. Wally and the high school staff to try to get more students involved during the school day to make it more accessible for them to know that we want and need this feedback.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bishop.
Any more questions or comments? All right, thank you very much, Dr. Bishop.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our action items. Action item A, minutes of the Board of Education regular meeting, October 23rd.
I move that we accept the minutes of the board meeting from October 23rd, 2025 as presented.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Action items B and C, school board resolution for submission of a 1003 flexible waiver and flexible waiver request. Dr. Bishop.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. I seek your approval of action item B and C as presented.
So moved.
We have a first and a second for actions items B and C. Are there any questions or or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote for actions items B and C. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries for action items B and C.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop. Next, we have action items D and E, Human Resource Report and the Supplemental Personnel Report. Due to the confidentiality of both reports, we won't entertain any questions or comments. Dr. Hunter.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young, I come seeking your approval for action items D and E as presented.
Second.
We have a first and a second. We'll move on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries for action items D and E. Thank you, Dr. Hunter. Next, we have action item F, board ratification of the PCTA tentative agreement. Dr. Hunter.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young, I ask that you approve the PCTA tentative agreement as presented.
I move we accept the board ratification of the PCTA tentative agreement as presented.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. One more for you, Dr. Hunter. Request for the compensation and benefits party for non-bargaining unit certified staff. Dr. Hunter.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Young, I ask that you approve the compensation and benefits parity for non-bargaining unit certified staff 2025 through 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
First and a second, are there any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
Action item H, new curriculum course for Pike High School. Mr. Emmett.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. I'm seeking approval for action item H, approval for new curriculum courses for Pike High School beginning with the 2026 and 2027 school year as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Are there any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Inman. I'd like to combine action items I, J, and K. Ms. Gray.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Young. I present to you action items I, J, and K, and request your approval as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second for action items I, J, and K. The same. Are there any questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to vote for action items I, J, and K. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Gray. Lastly, we'll move on to board member items. Dr. Moore.
Don't have anything tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Wilson.
Other than the fact that the longest shutdown is about to be open so that all of our districts across the nation can start feeding their families.
Thank you. Mr. Hooper.
All right, so as the board liaison to PTEF, I had the chance to attend their last meeting while driving to Michigan, so that was a nice luxury to be able to have. But they finalized several details of the PTEF banquet in the spring. So we already knew it was on it's going to be on March 7th at 6:30. The theme is detention after dark. So a little bit of a unique theme, and the line they're using for the dress code is that it is semi-formal with "I might get in trouble" flair. So hopefully everybody will get their calendars ready, and the board can maybe all get together, have a little fun, maybe get into a little bit of good trouble, and have a great time supporting PTEF. And finally, had a chance to visit the open house. I just want to echo some things that were said. Those kids, the teachers were outstanding. Obviously, we expect that. They're awesome. Our kids were phenomenal. Hearing their excitement as they explained supply chain and business accounting and all kinds of things to me. And my very favorite, and I apologize, Ms. Pedford, you can omit this from the notes if you want to at the end, but the young lady who was so excited about turning her compost into worm poop was just the highlight of the night. And so I had a great time and loved every minute of it.
Thank you, Mr. Hoofer. Dr. Webster.
Yes, certainly our prayers are out to the families of our district who are grieving at this time. And we did send out prayers yesterday when Dr. Young informed the board. And so we're certainly praying that God would grant them grace and strength during their grieving hour. Let's continue to check on one another and say something kind to each other, because we never know who we may talk off the edge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Barnes.
Since we won't see everyone before Thanksgiving, everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy some time with your family. I'm grateful to be on the board with my fellow board members. I'm grateful to serve this wonderful community.
Thank you, Mrs. Barnes. Ms. Kelly.
Good evening. I want to congratulate again our scholar athletes on all their hard work this fall. Had an opportunity to attend Safe Trick or Treat along with some of my fellow board members and the high school open house last night. Again, super impressed with our students, and they were able to, as an educator, I loved that they were able to tell me what they were learning, why they were learning, all the things we look for, the checks. And so the checks for understanding were there. They could talk about their programs. They were excited about their programs and recruiting each other to be a part of that. Those that weren't, the newer students that were visiting younger students from the middle school, they were excited about inviting them to come. And even the extracurricular clubs were there and represented, and they were able to share why we need Key Club, why we need this club, and all the different things, and helping them find their niche. And then looking forward to attending the musical this weekend. And as you know, we are known for our performing arts. So looking forward to seeing our students shine in every area. And so, again, enjoy this. We're getting into that time with your family. Enjoy that time. When we are out for that break, take a break and enjoy that. And so that when we come back, we can finish those last few weeks strong. Because we'll come back and then we'll have to get into finals and all the things. But enjoy that time. Good to see everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Dr. Young.
Thank you. Just an echo to congratulations to all of our athletes, our coaches, athletic directors for a great fall season. I'm always impressed by the accolades from the athletic side, but just blown away by those GPAs. And thank you to everyone that helped make the high school open house a huge success. I just can't imagine as I walk through anyone who visited our school that just couldn't be blown away. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Lastly, I want to thank all the athletes again for their hard work and their recognition, well deserved. Also to our athletic director, Kendra, congratulations on your recognition as well. And I wanted to, since this will be the last time we see everyone for their Thanksgiving, be thankful for what you have, because you never know, from year to year, Thanksgiving may be different. Also, I want to announce that I did make due on my promise. I did go over to the student barbering, and I got a haircut. And Mr. Luttrell, you did a very good job. Thank you, sir, if you're watching. With that being said, if I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone.